Everything. Mazda is certainly have so slow this.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with God. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same, in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to it, the redemption of our body. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces, like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
Everything. Mazda is certainly have so slow this.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards young brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makakwadash, pushing it up out there. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. What we want to get into, all right, with this live stream, as we know, today, all right, is the 4th, okay, of July, okay, the so-called birthday of this wicked empire known as America, okay, and America is spoken of heavily, all right, in the Bible. Matter of fact, let's get to some history according to the scriptures, because, as we was brought up in Christianity, a lot of us, or whatever we was brought up in, we had no idea, okay, that the Bible spoke of America, okay, but when you go into Daniel 7, which speaks of, these empires that will rule the earth, all right, some of the most powerful empires, all right, that will rule the earth, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, okay, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, the Romans, all right, and of Rome, you see, you will have, a spin-off of empires that come out of Rome, okay, ultimately Rome, the Roman Empire, all right, that pagan Roman Empire on the Esau will be revived in the earth, okay, so now when you go into the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 7, and it says, and after this I saw in the night vision and beheld a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth that devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, and this is speaking of pagan Rome, All right. And what made it diverse from the beast before it, that it ran off a Senate. Okay. It was a republic instead of a monarchy. Okay. It had a different style government, you see, and it had a very strong military. Okay. Those Roman legions, their Roman, weaponry. Okay. Just like today. All right. This beast system, America, NATO, and EU, all right, has benefited off a far-reaching, military. You see, and Rome was so vast. All right, the military was so vast because their allies, their vassal states, these 10 horns. Okay, these vassal nations and kingdoms, would go wage war on behalf of Rome. Which gave the Roman Empire a lot of reach, just like today. America, NATO, and the EU. Okay, for the longest they've been able to control a lot of part of the earth, due to its vast military footprint. Okay, which we see as being challenged now because we're entering another phase of prophecy. Okay, where this devil is getting ready to be taken down. Okay, it says, and break in pieces and stamp the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up another little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and beheld in the horn were eyes like a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And this, all right, when you go here, this little horn is speaking of America. Okay, which during the Renaissance, all right, you had the revival of, Esau. Okay, the Renaissance was his rebirth back to power in the earth. And this is when he fully came into the blessing given to him by Isaac, which is the fatness of the earth through the sword. Okay, because these are European, okay, colonists. Okay, these European governments will begin to colonize, the world. Come over here to the Western world. All right, you had the Spanish, the British, and the French. Who would begin with the Spanish. All right, and then the French, and then later on Britain. Will be the last, to really come and start to colonize this new world. And Britain established 13 colonies. Okay, speaking of these 3 horns, all right, these other 3 horns, all right, Britain was one of those 3 horns that would establish, all right, the colonies in America. Okay, and their colony turned into, okay, the nation of America. Okay, the horde that ride the beast. Okay, and America, okay, would go on, to dominate the British government. All right, the Spanish, okay, and the French. It would throw those governments. It would throw the British, government off its back and become its own government. Now, which we'll probably, go deeper into that, something I could tap into. So, but to sum it up, make it real quick. So we know that America is still subjugated to the bankers. The bankers' headquarters is in London. So when we say that America, broke away from the British, well, it broke away from the British government, but it didn't break away from the bankers. Now, just to try to make it make sense, let's say like you had, okay, cash money. I know, brothers like, damn, Jake, but just trying to make it a plain analogy. All right, so you had Cash Money Records, and then you had Young Money. Okay, so Cash Money, all right, was the father of Young Money, just like America. Well, Cash Money was the mother company of Young Money. Okay, but then what did you have over Cash Money, which was Universal, which owned both of them? Okay, so what happened was America, like Young Money, it was founded by Cash Money. You see, just like Britain, Britain was like the Cash Money that founded America. Like, so what happened was, just imagine, Young Money breaking away from Cash Money, but still under the umbrella of Universal. Okay, so that's what happened with the what they so-called independence. It broke away from the British government. Okay, but they still remain in debt. Okay, to the bankers. It was a struggle, but eventually the bankers still kept America under their umbrella, all right, and in debt to where, all right, the bankers, okay, of London still control the money supply of America to this day. You see, so America broke away from their mother, which was Britain, okay, but they're still under the umbrella of the bankers. You see, so what was I meant? Okay, let's go verse 8 again. So I considered the horns, and beheld there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns. Those three horns, the French, the British, all right, and the Spanish. Okay, they were plucked up by the roots. Okay, and beheld in this horn, which is America, were eyes like the eyes of man, and mouth speaking great things. Yeah, because America became the mouthpiece, okay, of the elites. Okay, they pushed the rebellion, all right, the witchcraft, okay, and that wicked influence in the world of the elites. Okay, so when you look at America, you know, speaking these great things against who? The Most High. This is the motherland of rebellion, and this is what you people are celebrating. Okay, but real quick, because everything is out in the open now. All right, and one thing about it, no one can say that they don't know. You know, the Lord. All right, when you go here, let's get this in the book of Mark, chapter 4. We'll get in the AMP. Let me read this in the AMP real quick. Mark chapter 4, verse 22. All right. And one thing about it, you people cannot say, all right, that you don't know. And speaking to you Israelites, because you Edomites, you're done anyway. Okay. You're just here to be judged. All right. 2/3 of our people, they're here to be judged. Okay. But one thing we know, that the Lord has lifted a veil on Esau, Edom, you know, and uncover all his wickedness, and is putting it out there, man. Okay, and you people are still getting ready to celebrate. You people are celebrating pure wickedness, man. Okay, you people are celebrating pure wickedness, man, by celebrating America in any type of fashion. Mark 4:22, for nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it will come to light. That is, things are hidden only temporarily until the appropriate time comes from them, all right, for them to be known. Okay, so the Lord has chose this appropriate time to raise up the prophets, you know, and it's the prophets that have spearhead revealing this devil, man. Okay, now you have you know, other sources, okay, of information, all right, they reveal the wickedness of Esau. Okay, you have, you know, certain truthers and, you know, whistleblowers and, you know, insiders. Okay, you have this alternate news community and all these different things. But one thing for sure is no one can say that they didn't know. You know, you Israelites, you can't say that because first of all, the Lord raised up prophets to tell you who you are, to tell you about this goddamn devil and what he's on. And then you have all this mainstream information. You have the Epstein files released. So you're celebrating America. You're saying that you're okay with pedophilia. You're okay with Satanism. You're okay with child. All right. You know, hey, torment. Okay, XCX trafficking. You're saying that you're okay with all of it. You're good. You're okay. You're okay with this rebellion, with this technocracy. Okay, all this information is coming out, and your people are still going out and actively, consciously celebrating America, man. That's why the Lord finds you people guilty with America, man. That's why you're going to get judged like you're going to get judged in the land of America, man. Okay, you people are with this wicked empire, man. Okay, you don't mind America going to steal and destroy the way you people celebrated Trump when he did his move in Venezuela. All right, when America did that thing in Venezuela, you people, all right, you celebrated that. Okay, you Americans, you niggas, you celebrated that. You know, I just remember the reaction from the Venezuela thing, and it was a celebration. You were cheering on the same government that's destroying you. You cheer when they go to destroy other people. Okay, so it's like, okay, what are you celebrating? All right, you're celebrating pure wickedness, man. Okay, when you go here, let's get this in the book of Proverbs 17. This is Proverbs 17 and 15 in the AMP. Says, he who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous are both repulsive to the Lord. Okay, and you Americans, all you do is justify the wickedness of America. All right, and you condemn righteousness, man. Okay, if a nation of people have their women in order, okay, but America pushes propaganda as if the leader is tyrannical, you people are with it. You know, you people believe all this propaganda, okay, because he demonized order. Esau demonized order, man. Okay, and you people jump on this bandwagon and condemn everything that this man enchants you to condemn with his propaganda. Okay, you people didn't know Gaddafi. People didn't know Saddam. I'm not saying that these people were these squeaky clean saints, man. Okay, but when you go into, all right, these men, they did have their people's best interest in mind. All right, to a degree, you know, especially with Gaddafi. All right, and they're just giving out examples. Even Castro. All right, even you go back to Fidel Castro. Like I said, during the 70s, okay, the life expectancy in Cuba was longer than the life expectancy in America. Okay, in the 60s and 70s, they was pushing that heavy, all right, demonization, man. And they were doing it with far less, they were living longer with far less resources, man. And that's another thing. You're celebrating a kingdom that's killing you, man. You're celebrating a government that's consciously and actively killing you, man, through the food, through the music, through the peaceutical industry. Because the food sends you to the peaceutical industry, man. Okay, the food destroy you to send you to, all right, the witchcraft they call, okay, healthcare, okay, to finish you off, man. You see, and we've been going into a lot of that. You know, they destroy motherhood, okay. You know, they got demonize the midwives, okay. You know, this is a society that drops off guns, and here it is. This man, you know, floods America with guns and drugs. The CIA, your government, okay, and you people are walking around with these stupid ass Uncle Sam outfits, okay, red, white, and blue, everything. Which that goes back to Egypt when you go into it. They went into the social classes. You know, you go into their history, you can look it up. Okay. Right? You people getting drunk off your mind, you know, drinking the, Edomites drinking their goddamn their Bush, you know, beer. Okay. Talking about some goddamn America shooting a Roman candle. Okay. Your government is picking a fight with all the nuclear nations of the world. You see, and the real fireworks gonna come with them nukes, man. Okay, as you people celebrate, you know, the birth of America with fireworks, where the Lord, all right, is going to end this bitch with true fireworks, man. Okay, and you people justify the wickedness of this government, man. All right, the only thing you people want is a better financial situation, but you do not mind at all the wickedness. You don't mind that your leaders are Satanists and PDF files, man. Okay. You don't mind that your government has turned America into a death camp. Okay, like I say, the food industry does nothing but experiment on you. Okay, and now he wants to take his experimentation to the next level with technology, man. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to Jeremiah 51:8. This is an AMP. It says Babylon has suddenly fallen and is shattered. Well for her, if you care to. Okay, and ultimately, you people cry about your situation in America, you're crying for this place to be healed. You see, the prophets, all right, and the hopeful elect are crying for this place to be destroyed. You see, you people are crying for this place to be healed. Okay. You see, that's why you know the elect have a completely different spirit, because we've been born, all right, in the spirit. You see, we woken up to the truth of the matter. All right. It says, get balm for her, incurable pain. Perhaps she may be healed. And this place is incurable, man. It's rotted to the core. Okay. And the people that America produce, every generation gets worse, more satanic, more dark, more weird, okay, more violent, okay, and further away from, all right, fear of a higher power. Okay. This place is incurable. It's rotted to the core. There's no reversing, okay, the wounds of America, man. Okay, it was founded in wickedness and corruption and witchcraft. All right, and that's going to be one of the reasons why this place is going to go out, because of the scripture speak about the sins of their youth. Okay, what you will get is Jeremiah 51:9. It said, "We will have healed Babylon, but she have not been healed. Abandon her and let us each, all right, return to his own country, for her guilt and judgment have reached to the heaven, and I lifted up to the very skies." Yeah, man, this place, wickedness, okay, is is discussed in the heavens, man. Okay, the wickedness of America is discussed in the heavens, and the Lord's getting ready to X this place off the map through nuclear destruction and Yahweh shine the chariots, man. Okay, so there's no good news, all right, for America, man. And as you people try to celebrate, to try to, revamp the nostalgia, okay, to revamp some type of American spirit, okay. As Esau, he try to hype himself up as if he's going to continue on. Okay, nah, man, you Edomites getting ready to lose, and in America, all right, this is the place. This is the center stage of the Lord's judgment. At the end of this thing, man, at the end of Esau's kingdom, America is going to be the center stage of judgment, man. Okay, and America has made you people proud against Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay, and that plays a major factor in what's getting ready to happen. Matter of fact, let's get that in the very next chapter, previous chapter, Jeremiah 50 and 25. It says, it's like Jeremiah 50 and 29 in the AMP. It says, call together many archers against Babylon. That's all the nuclear, all right, capable nations, man. Okay, and as you people, as you dumb, stupid people, okay, are drinking, goddamn Miller Lite with the American flag on it. Okay, these nations are preparing a nuclear assault on America, man. Okay, it said all those who bend the bow and camp against her on every side, every nation is nuclear capable. Let no one from their escape repay her according to her actions. Yeah, because your government, all right, has done nothing but the bidding of the elites. Okay, and you people think that your military is sent to fight these wars for some national security. No. Okay, these nations are not a threat to your national security. Okay, that's a lie. All right, the American military moves, okay, on behalf of the interests of the elites. Okay, they're not moving on interests affording you American people. All right, it's a goddamn lie, man. It's an illusion. Okay, because your situation don't change when America goes and steal these resources that these oligarchs, all right, these corporations enrich themselves, man. Okay, your dollar gets weaker. You see, your food gets more poison. No matter how many wars, all right, America wins. Your healthcare increases. Okay, as we went into America's 56 and mother, all right, mortality during birth. Okay, so America is not number one in anything except poisoning its own people. Now America has the most chemicals in its food. Is number one in that. Okay, it's number one in gun violence. Okay, number one in obesity. You see. So yeah, what the hell are you celebrating? You see? And everything that this government, all right, has done throughout the world, throughout its existence, well, it's going to come back in a moment. That's why all those missiles are going to hit. That's all those airstrikes coming back in one moment. Okay? This poverty, this extreme poverty that America is about to go through, well, this is, the poverty that America has caused throughout the earth coming back, man. Okay? And the same game that they run, throughout the world, they're running on America, on your American citizens, man. Okay, to destabilize, okay, the society, okay, to impoverish it, to enrich, the few, okay, and to occupy it, all right, through military, man. Well, all this being set up right here in America, man. Okay, it said repay her to her actions, all right, repay her according to her actions, just as she has done due to her. For she has been proudly defiant and presumptuous against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Okay, and America has you people extremely proud. You tribes, man. You're proud against your power. You're defiant. Okay, you have a hard stance against righteousness, man. Okay, but you sympathize with wickedness, man. You see? So America has put a very proud and defiant and presumptuous, which means to do wrong and know you're doing wrong, but don't give a damn. Okay? And the Lord's going to meet that spirit, all right, with great judgment, man. You see, with tribulation leading all the way up to nuclear destruction. Okay? So it said, for she have been proudly defiant and presumptuous against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel, man. And we'll finish the judgment for that, man. Okay? Now, I got a video I want to play. This is from the brother channel, the Hopeful Elect, the brother Yaquab. All right. And this guy, he just goes on the rant. And it's all in his facts. He goes on the rant. Man, you people are celebrating a government that hates you. Okay? And that hatred is increasing. As the scriptures say, who put a cruel Lord over the Egyptians, man. Okay? And Trump has been nothing but a bridge from, all right, this old system to a new system. All right? Trump is the bridge, all right? And these technocrats have just walked their way into, okay, American society, and they're ruling it with cruelty, man, with blatant cruelty, man. Okay? So this rulership does not benefit its people, man. It does the opposite. It destroys. You see, nothing is working in your favor, man. Okay, but like Scott Rivers say, long as you Americans, because you can tell he agitated with you niggas, boy. How dumb you Americans are, man. Okay, and as long as you niggas can buy, a pizza at the end of the work week, okay, and the 6-pack and watch some goddamn TV, you don't give a damn what's going on, man. Okay. So let's play this.
The United States is a cesspool of corruption. Every aspect of our lives is corrupt, devalued. We are abused on every level of our lives. Everything that we do, everything that matters most to us is corrupted. Think of cities, the way they are designed. Think of our healthcare. Think of our transportation networks. Think of our food and our politicians. Should I even go into detail? No, but I'm gonna. Because some of y'all are fucking brainwashed. So brainwashed, you believe that this is good, that we are free, when we are being treated like cash cows, like cattle. We are being milked for our energy to sustain a bunch of greedy psychopaths who want to use our very lives to enrich themselves and be treated like gods. And they have succeeded. Millions of poor schmucks are supporting, defending billionaires and a trillionaire as though there was merit in exploiting a system designed to abuse people. The reality for most people in America is economic insecurity. The reality is when you go and you get sick and you don't have insurance, they ask you, where's your insurance card? Oh, well, here's your payment options prior to treatment. Nobody cares. There's nothing good about America. It is a cesspool of exploitation, of ignorance, and death. Life expectancy is dropping. Unlike all other Western nations, we are dying younger now. Why? Because we're sick. Why? Because everything is poison. We are stressed. I have lived, like many of my brethren and sisters, I have lived in economic insecurity my entire adulthood. Everything we were told about our future was a lie. There is no college degree that will keep you safe. There is no career path where a company will suddenly give you some kind of benefits that will outlive your tenure in their little cult. We've been so fucking brainwashed. We've learned to love our masters. We have Stockholm syndrome on a grand scale, and they are playing us and abusing us. Trump, Obama, Biden, Bush, they are all the swamp. Them and all their ilk who live off incredible amounts of money that they get from us and their connections. They have health care for the rest of their lives, Cadillac healthcare plans, and they don't give a fuck about us. They don't care. They don't care. And you don't care. You don't care. You've been so mind fucked. All you can think about is, oh, maybe I'll be okay after I get my next fast food after my shift. And I don't want to deal with this right now, so I'll just keep my mouth shut. And I don't want to go back to the job market because it's so difficult. So I'll just say nothing and take the abuse from these customers because fuck, like I need a job. We're slaves, bro. We're slaves. And to our parents, thank you. Thank you for leaving us this world. And to my grandparents, y'all need to just die. Because you live in 1970 and you're never going to fucking get it. Anybody above 65, even above 55, you don't get it. You don't even see reality for what it is. There's no solution coming from you ever. Oh, just work harder. Just work. Fuck you. People are ready to do crazy things. And people wonder why. Oh, nobody wants to work anymore. Bullshit, dude. Land of the free, my ass. What a fucking mind job. War is peace. Freedom is slavery and ignorance is strength. This is idiocracy. We are in Sodom and Gomorrah. Asteroid, please. I'm ready. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm ready. Fuck you. Welcome to America. Fuck you.
Yeah, Salaki. I had it muted. But yeah, man, perfectly said. And what I said when it was paused, you see that Joker, you see that Edomite had that Joker smile. Okay. That Joker laugh, I mean. All right, because he's getting ready to spaz out. He represents millions, okay, of Edomites that feel like that. Okay. And you Edomites are getting ready to cancel each other out as well. And it's a beautiful thing what the Lord got set up, all right, in these last days. You see? But it was well said, that rant, all right, summed up the current state of American society, okay, in which the American government, all right, they don't care. Okay, you people are still marching and protesting and talking about, the data centers. Look, they don't care what the data center is doing to you. It ain't that they don't know. When you're telling these people about what the data centers do to people, they know. They don't care. When you complain about the food, they know. They don't care. When you complain about the economy, they know. They don't care. Okay? That's what you dumb, stupid people don't realize. Okay? They don't care. You see? It's only about these few families, okay, putting in the control system, man, to keep a permanent system of poverty and a permanent system of wealth and control, okay? Two classes, man. That's why I say that when you get to the sea hill, it speaks of what? Rich and poor, free and bond. Two classes, man. Okay? But what the Lord is getting ready to bring is misery to you people, man. Okay? When you go here, let's get this real quick. So like for having it muted. But yeah, when you go here, all right, let's see. Let's go here, Baruch, and we'll end it here, man. Because it's a beautiful thing to see you, all right, Edomite, spazzing out, going on these rants. Okay, it's beautiful. Okay, because you're in the end of your reign. Because you everyday Edomite, you're not innocent. Okay, and it's good that the Lord has your own elites putting hell on you, man. And we rejoice at that. All right, like Eliyahu Woman say, one of his favorite things to do is listen to you Edomites cry, all right, about your leadership. But when you go here to Baruch 4:30, it says, "Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy son." So while we're comforted by this word, through the ministry of the prophets, okay, through via the Holy Spirit, all right, well, you Edomites are going into misery, man. Okay, it was you everyday Edomites that was hanging Jake, lynching Jake, all right, on the paddy patrol. It was you everyday Edomites hunting down Jake with hound dogs, okay, castrating Jake, mutilating Jake, experimenting on the Israelite woman, for your medical, that was you everyday Edomites. You see? And now, all right, the Lord has it to where your elites, okay, are running you through the ground. And not only that, your elites are going to get you nuked. Okay, while they're in the bomb shelters, which ultimately they're being reserved for captivity, and then and it's going to be through them. Okay, and the remainder and the remnant of you Edomites that survive this judgment, as you're going straight to captivity. Okay, and they're gonna bring back you Edomites that got nuked in America. You're gonna be born into slavery, man. This is just the beginning. Okay, this nuclear structure just divides the rulership of Esau and Jacob. Okay, it's gonna end Esau's rulership and begins Jacob's. All right, which is the beginning of your 1,000 years of judgment, man. Okay, and you Americans, you're gonna get all right the worst part. Okay, of this of the ending of Esau's rulership. You Americans going to get it the worst. For if she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation, man. Because America was founded off what, man? The free labor of slave, man. The theft of a whole country, the destruction of a whole civilization, man, going into the tribes that was already over here, man. Mainly Gad and Reuben in America, man. Okay, it's a car, out there in the West, from Texas to Cali, what they call the Northwest. You see? So this place was founded, all right, off, the land theft, destruction of a functioning civilization that was here. Okay, the chattel slavery, okay, of people that y'all stole from, all right, the other side of the earth, brought here, all right, to labor. You see, it said, "For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning," man. Okay, so your ability to even celebrate a goddamn wicked holiday is finna be destroyed. It's finna be mutilated. Okay, it's finna be it's finna be impossible to celebrate a holiday, man, because America just finna be about survival. Okay, America is just gonna be a Mad Max, okay, scenario, man. You see, he said, "For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, the nukes long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about toward the east." Yeah, so this place is going to be nuked and turned to a desert. All right, the Lord's going to melt America off the map, man. Okay, there will be no infrastructure, nothing. All right, that showed that there was ever civilization in America, man. It's going to be like a society. It's going to be like it was never inhabited, man. It's going to be unbelievable that this place was inhabited at once. All right, after the Lord finished judging this place, man. It says, "O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High." Okay, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. You see? So as the elect are being gathered by this word, which is going to lead to us physically being gathered, and by Yahushua, okay, and put back in that land and rule the earth in righteousness, man. You Americans, you're finna suffer, man. Okay? You're finna suffer like no other nation on the planet Earth, because this is a global judgment, but there's an emphasis on America, man. And it's because of his wickedness, man. You see? So that's the point, just wanted to get into that, Lord will. All right, you brothers, all right, you few sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.